I just feel super intelligent. I was forging out this blade, thought I was recording, and I had forgot to push record. Now on this one, I cut out a piece of steel length, ground the handle shape that I was looking for, but forged in the blade. So as you can see, I've started forging in the bevels. I've got the tip forged out nicely. Let's see. This one is actually going to be, it's roughly a 6-inch blade, and it's going to be used by a local gentleman for wild boar hunting. He wanted something that would hold a good edge and stand up to the tough hides and everything and all on wild boar. Now, I've done a little bit of boar hunting. I've also raised a rather good size boar that was a half Russian boar. Come up to 800 pounds, and he got stubborn enough to where he wouldn't stay in his pen, so I had to put him down, and he made some really good hams. But so I know what he's going to be putting this through. Now I've done a slight distal taper, as you can see. 3/16 inch thick spine, and starting to forge in the bevels. I apologize for not having the footage of the other, but we'll get some more of me forging in the bevels and all as I go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to forge in the bevels, and then I'll go back and I'll clean up the excess to get it to a uniform shape, and file in the choil, and then start putting the handle and everything and all on it. So be right back. While that's heating up, here's the cable Damascus that I started forging out the other day. I went ahead and brought it back to fine tune and put in the finger choil. I actually used this piece of rod clamped down to my anvil to forge it in, and I started cleaning up it so I can go ahead and get it ready to harden and temper and get the handle and all on it. Here's tomahawk that I started forging out the other day. Started cleaning up the profile on it. I'll go ahead and start and get the eye stretched out and get it ready. So this should be hot enough for me to hammer on it some more. Oh yeah. Here, let me get the tip just heated up a little bit. Alright, there we go. Little bit of warpage right there that I got to heat up and straighten out. Alright, got the center section heated up, which is where the little bit of warpage is. Just going to lightly move it. for any sections of where the bevel's going to be, if there's any out in it. Which, I mean, the majority of it's going to be ground centered anyway, but every little bit helps cutting down on warps and stuff like that. Fairly straight. No, that's not. There, that's better. A little bit of planishing work there. Now on this one, I'm going to leave in the forged texture on the blade, so I'm going to have to heat up back here where I didn't forge any bevel or forge in the distal taper, and work it just a little bit to where it'll be a uniform look. And after that, apparently the mud bums were really pleased with those 3 cleavers that I did. Hold on just a second. They were pleased with the cleavers that I did, and so they ordered 4 more cleavers, and then they've ordered 3 other style knives, 2 of each, that are all going to have the ball peen texturing and the micarta handles and all, and look, you know, the same handle look and everything and all as the cleavers had, and the same basic sheath with a little bit of stamping on it as well. So I'm looking forward to getting those done. I've went ahead and locked in a decision that I will be at Blade this coming year, 2019. I'm going to go ahead and get my deposit in next month, and I look forward to hammering out everything that I can and all, including, you know, some tomahawks and stuff like that and all. There'll be a lot of knives that I'm doing, you know, with the 4 basic styles. That there'll be some $100 knives, $125 knives, $150 knives, $175 knives, but it'll be lower end on the custom knife making. But trust me, my quality, I aim for perfection and as nice a fit and finish as I can possibly make, and I'm always looking to do better. So if you get a chance, come out to Blade 2019 next year and look me up. Alright, and now back to the forge. See how nice and hot that got in that little bit of time we were talking? What I'll do is just get a little bit of the texturing in there. Still wanting to make sure I keep things straight. Alright, there we go. That'll give me the same texturing, even though the handle wasn't forged. The blade was. And it's all 1080 steel. I'll go ahead and drill the pinholes and all. And this one's going to get a bone handle. And so I'll post a pic at the end of the video of what it turns out like. Alright, have a blessed one. Bye. Alright, when doing a differential heat treatment, when doing a differential heat treatment, what you're looking for is heating up just the bevel section of the blade. You want the spine and the flap to not be heated to critical temperature, which is non-magnetic. So what I've done is I've already heated this one up to it. I've already checked it with my large magnet. Now what I'm going to do is actually quench it. I got a little bit right in here that's not up to temperature. It cools down when you pack it in a little bit. So what you want to do in a propane forge, what you would do is literally turn the spine down and the bevel edge up towards the burner and work it back and forth to heat it evenly through there, and that way you don't heat up the whole blade. When you heat up the whole blade, you're changing the grain structure of the entire blade. You're hardening the entire blade. So then it all has to be tempered back, and it all gets tempered back to a certain, to the same temperature in a heat treating oven. So then what you're doing, let's see, double check, non-magnetic, and the quench. And when you put it in the quench, what you want to do is slice it back and forth. But you only want to submerge the blade edge, the bevel, not the flat or the spine. So you see, I've done that. Now I can take my trusty file right here and listen. A skate versus, you hear it biting there? You hear it just skate across that. Alright? And even see difference in the spine and the edge. So that is a hardened flat, a hardened bevel and edge, and that's what you're looking for. That's why I like the longer quench tanks, that I can do a little movement in there. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and harden up these blades that I've shaped and everything before, so I can start getting them tempered back. This is the cable Damascus that y'all watched me forge out the billet and everything and all on. I got a piece of steel in there that I wanted to check on that I was heating up to straighten out and get some basic shape on. Give me a minute. Alright, let's see here. You can actually see a coloration difference from here all the way back around to here in the metal. And that is the hardened section of metal versus the coloration that's here. Yeah. You can catch some of it there and all. And that shows you that that is actually heat treated, hardened to a different degree than this back here. And that's what you're looking for differential heat treatment. You don't have to have the clay and stuff and all to be able to do it. Alright, non-magnetic. Slice it back and forth in the oil. And you can check it. You can hear the skate versus the bite there. That's it biting. That's it skating. Even back here it bites. You can hear the difference versus. Alright, so this whole edge, the distal tapered tip and the flat bevel, and the bevel separating from the flat is all hardened. It's hardened, and this is left softer, which allows the blade to absorb more shock and be a little bit more flexible while still having a tough edge after it's heat treated, after it's tempered back. So that's what you want to look for is to temper it back. I temper mine back typically to a Rockwell hardness between 57 and 59 for the steels that I work with. It gives a good tough knife that's not, it's not real brittle, it's not easily broken, it's got a little bit of, well, not give, but it's been drawn back some to where it'll withstand more and not break apart and crumble because it's so hard. Alright, it's actually changing the grain structure, relaxing a little bit more. When you harden a knife, it creates a lot of tension in that grain structure, and it's it's real hard, literally. I mean, you know, hey, but because there's so much tension in that grain structure, it's easy to break. When you temper it back, it helps relax that grain structure a little bit to where it will absorb more shock and stuff like that, and all without breaking. All right, yeah, have a blessed one.